Welcome to another episode of In the Kitchen with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. Today, we're in Lighthouse Point at Le Bistro, where we're going to talk to Chef Andy to see what makes this place special. Come on inside.
Welcome to another episode of In the Kitchen with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. Today, we're in Lighthouse Point with Chef Andy Trousdale at Le Bistro. My name is Rory, I'm your host. So Chef, walk us through what's happening.
Okay, what we decided to do was something simple, something classic. Also, straight after do something a little bit more modern, completely different, but utilizing the same cut of meat. In this case, we have a small 6-ounce little fillet. I want to do an old classic Steak Diane. So we have all the ingredients here ready. Little chopped shallot, little garlic, obviously we've got too much cream. We have Worcester sauce here, a little sherry or cognac if you prefer. We're going to start off with that first. Then immediately after, we're going to go on to the more of an Asian style, using the same fillet, the same cut, we're just using different ingredients. On this one, instead of the button mushrooms, we have shiitakes, I have scallions, I have fresh ginger, I have a little homemade bok choy kimchi that I made, a little hoisin and Shaoxing Chinese sherry. So the basic idea is taking the same little fillet, doing two completely different styles. Actually makes it easy if you butterfly it first, you don't have to pound too much. So we've gone from an 1.5 inch thickness down to about 3/4 or so. It's called a paillard. Paillard, it's pounded out like a veal schnitzel, or some of these Italian dishes that we have like a Milanese.
It seems like a good stress relief.
This would be a good stuff. Salt and pepper. Whatever seasonings you use, here we have is a burgundy salt. It's a little funky, a little different, I suppose. Fresh ground black pepper you can't beat. So we're really basically using a basic salt and pepper. This is just a little fancy. So what we're going to do is just going to put that to one side right now. Okay, here I have some chopped shallots ready. I have a little chopped garlic ready. Mushrooms. So just a little sliced onion. Sliced mushroom. We have the chopped shallot and chopped garlic ready there. So this is what we call part of our mise en place, which is a French term that every chef knows. It means everything in its place, or preparation beforehand. So yeah, heating up the pan. We have a little bit of olive oil if you prefer cooking with olive oil. Every restaurant, every chef has got their own idea of what they want to use. I mean, sometimes I get feedback from customers. We have the best customers in the world. I mean, we've had people support us through this whole COVID thing and through a lot of different things we've been through in almost 20 years we've been here. So great customers, good feedback. This is getting pretty warm right now, so don't need much oil at all.
Absolutely.
You need a hot pan, a little bit of butter, smoking just nicely right now.
I'm a fan of butter.
So really all you're doing, what's that, 10, 12, 15 seconds maybe, roughly. Starting to brown around the edges on the side seam. Now this is really rare right now. First I like rare, how do you like it?
Medium.
Well, I'm cooking it rare.
That's fine.
So that means I'm going to sit down and with that guy and you're going to watch.
You're in charge.
Right. So for rare I would take that out right now because remember it's been pounded a little bit.
Right.
It's already set to go if you pass me a clean plate. Now, you could say drain it, but dry it, alcohol flavor. So we're going to keep the same pot, all the juices, that onion that's in there, the seasoning, the flavor to come off the beef. Little chopped shallot, not much. Like half a teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon maybe. Now we're using the tiniest amount of butter if you notice. And even when I put the cream in, it's the tiniest amount. It's not like we're using tons of butter or tons of cream.
Just a little bit goes a long way.
Yes, exactly. A little bit of garlic. So that's all cooking as we're going. You pass me the sherry, please, and the Worcester sauce. Some regular button mushrooms. You can change up the mushrooms. You can do whatever you want. I mean, what it's all about.
And this is an item that we find at today.
This is on the menu right now. We put it on special for the Dine Out. The Worcester sauce. Some 2 maybe. I can go back, if you don't mind. Little sherry. I use sherry. It's got a little sweetness to it. I like the flavor. If you want to use cognac or brandy, go for it. Put the alcohol out.
The smell in the room is incredible.
Yeah. Can I pass me the mustard? There you go. Do your mustard, you can use any mustard you like. The more the spice you like, the more you want to put in. That's a nice amount. About a teaspoon or so. The cream, please. A little jug, right? Oh, it goes right in. Oh, sorry, you know. Now you can garnish, you can put chopped parsley and you can put scallions, you can put all sorts of things on that if you like. Personally, I don't. That is the dish itself. That's a steak. That's a classical steak Diane.
So, Chef, you made a Steak Diane, which is incredible. And I know when we got here, most people, when they go to a restaurant, they order an appetizer. You were kind enough to show us, or to pre-make the salad for us. So, what's special about the salad besides the fact that it's in what looks to be a glass flour base?
Basically, yeah. As in the culinary field, everything's got a name and a term, mostly due to the French, I suppose, and in their language they call it a verrine. A verrine typically is in a glass that you can see it, but also you can see the layers. It's a salad. It's a beet, goat cheese, Fuji apple salad. But if you can see on there, you can see the layers of the lettuce and the apples, the lettuce again, the beet and the goat cheese and the sunflower seeds on the top there. So this is a salad that we have something similar to this on the menu, and that's just called a verrine.
Fantastic. We do need to get a commercial break in, so we'll be right back after this. Stick around. We have more In the Kitchen with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival coming right up.
We are Florida's Hollywood, a city on the East Coast, just a short drive from where you are, with a list of activities as long as our award-winning oceanfront Broadwalk, and a mix of large resorts and boutique hotels, and eateries from which to choose. We are the perfect local setting for a change of scenery and a splash of fun. We are Florida's Hollywood, just a short drive from where you are.
Welcome back to In the Kitchen with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. We're here at Le Bistro in Lighthouse Point with Chef Andy Trousdale. You just walked us through an incredible steak that was, I think everybody here devoured it in the middle of our break. Now walk us through your next steak.
Okay, what we'd like to show is using a little 6-ounce fillet, the same one we used there. We're not going to pound this one. We're just going to season this slightly.
Now what's the difference between this salt and the burgundy salt?
Flavor.
All right.
I want to keep this a bit more neutral. And it's good to play around with different seasonings, I think, different flavors. I mean, that's how you get some of the dishes as nice as you do. So we're using the same fillet, but not pounded out. And again, we can use a little bit of olive oil or butter or both, whatever you want to do.
So you're going to start with the hot pan.
Hot pan, hot oil. We're going to keep it, the thickness it is about what, 1.5 inches away from you, so it'll be flat. So this will smoke up a little bit because the olive oil, I'm going to turn it down a touch.
I always love the sound of a sizzle with the steak hits the pan.
Yeah, that gets the caramelization on there. That brings out the sugar in the meat or the vegetables or whatever you're cooking. I want to put a potato in there at the same time. This is a baked potato. I actually tried this dish at home. I found half a baked potato. I took the peel off and put a little bit of butter to that. I'll help brown it, flavor it a little bit.
I'll never say no to butter in a dish. Right?
So it comes. Now, whatever you do in cooking, someone's always going to tell you something different. If I turn it over more than once, someone's going to say, oh, you only should ever turn a steak over once. Well, not really. It's already been proven that the more you turn it, it's the same as basting. See how nice and brown that is? The potato's already cooked. The baked potato.
So now you're just adding the
So what's happening now is the butter's browning, which is browning the potato. It's browning the steak just like before. I'm going to keep this really rare. That's the way it works when you're in charge. Just a little season on the potato. We're going to utilize some different ingredients on a bit more of an Asian style. Look at that nice caramelization on the beef and on the potato. That's what you're looking for. Now what I'm going to do, these are little shiitakes. I have a little bit of pepper. I'm just going to slice it all thin right now.
I couldn't do what you just did with that knife.
Well, that's okay. I'll put the scallions in there too. If you just want to do it julienne, or if you want to cut it across and do like a fine dice. I like a lot of ginger myself. This is a completely different dish to what we've just done. However, see, the longer you leave that steak in, the longer you have it cooked. Me, I like it rare. Like you say, I eat it. This is the Xiaoxing, this is the Chinese
Xiaoxing, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to turn that off because I learned that it is a little salty, but if you reduce it too much, it's too much of a salt flavour. So I turn the gas off. Now these are spicy. They're little.
This is the bok choy.
This is the kimchi bok choy that I made. They are little. It's probably enough. We've got that for tasting. You can serve that cold like most people do. But in this case, I've still got heat in the pan. Just going to warm it slightly.
You can smell the spice.
Oh yeah. The hoisin. I'm gonna put a little bit of drizzle over there.
And what is the sauce that you're using now?
This hoisin, this is a little sweet. I'm careful with that because I'm not a big sweet person. This is a completely different dish from that one. And what we're highlighting is the same little beef, or if it was a pork fillet, or a little chicken fillet, or whatever you wanted to choose, or maybe fish. The flavors on these are going to be completely different than the Steak Diane. That's what I wanted to highlight.
Okay.
So it's the use of ingredients and just trial and error and see what you like. If you don't like the hoisins, it's too sweet, then don't use it. Use a little soy. Soy is too salty. Maybe use a little bit of mustard.
I can't wait to get in there. Before we do that, I know that you have some other stuff in there.
This is an appetizer on our menu. What it is, it's actually a cauliflower steak. You take a whole cauliflower, trim the sides off, cut it in half.
Okay.
Trim it up. Cauliflower steak. We actually have it on our menu as an appetizer, but you can have this as an entree. It's a cauliflower steak. And this dish I've actually had on the menu for a long time. And the ingredients I have here, these changed over time just through trial and error. I want to get it going first before I add the butter because it's going to be a while. I don't want to burn it. But just for this, we want to brown it up a little bit. There you go. What we're going to do, this is fermented black garlic. So what we're going to do is put a few cloves in there.
It tastes like candy.
It's a little sweet, yeah, it's candy garlic. And I mentioned I won 3 times at the Garlic Fest in Delaware.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Pine nuts. Poached raisins. Take some of that sweetness off, make it a little soft. I'll do these again. There you go, that's what you're looking for. A little green onion. Just work it up a little bit. Now this has been on our menu for about a year or so maybe. And you don't have to be vegetarian to order it. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
You don't have to be vegetarian. It's a really, really nice dish. As long as you caramelize it, you cook it nicely. Most people have that as an appetizer, but you could have that as an entree. So we do like to cook on the lighter side as well, like the beet verrine. the cauliflower steak, and a little dessert. You could quite simply enjoy a real nice vegetarian style menu at our restaurant.
So you have the steak, the cauliflower steak, and then a side dish to bring it all together. So what would be the side that you've been eating today?
The side that I've had on for quite a while at Le Bistro is just really a very simple potato hash. I'll just take diced potatoes, a little bit of garlic, and whatever vegetables you want. Garlic, up to you, how much ever you want to put in.
Asparagus.
That's extra, we'll have later on. Into another dish. So I want to keep the vegetables a little crunchy. I mean, I don't like soggy vegetables myself. A little plain. A little bit more.
And the mold is really just for presentation.
It's portion amount, it's presentation, the look and everything, yeah. I mean, but really, when you sit down and have an appetizer, and you have something like a Steak Diane or that Asian dish right there,
It's so simplistic, but I bet it's packed full of flavor.
exactly, that's the whole point, yeah.
So what desserts do you have for us today?
Just a couple of simple desserts we have here at Le Bistro is creme brulee. I think everyone knows creme brulee for the most part. I've changed that recipe since I think 30-something odd years ago. I didn't change it at all. Whether you put a few blueberries or strawberries or something on it, it's up to you. Whether you take the sugar and you do it separate and stick it on top of whipped cream or fruits. And this is the classical way of doing it. Whatever you want to put on it, whatever you want to do. Typically, I keep it plain. It's heavy cream, organic egg yolks, vanilla sugar. So I thought that was a very, very easy, simple, also classical dish.
Chef, when we were setting up, you were talking about how you really like to focus on fresh ingredients, things that are in season. And here we have a dessert that seems to be, I'm going to call it peppered with peaches.
Well, peaches in season right now. They're beautiful, nice, moist, juicy. They're super ripe. You can buy them almost everywhere right now. Used things are in season. They're the best, typically the best price. And you get them at the height of the season, which is right now. This is an orange coulis which I made, and also is a red berry coulis. This is just a very simple chocolate ganache torte, which is made from real couverture chocolate, heavy cream, sherry, vanilla. And a gemoise sponge which I made, which is just with whole eggs, sugar and flour. And you make a very simple cake. I put a little bit of sherry on the sponge, not make it too dry. Put the ganache on, let it set, cut it out. Serve with a little fruit and a little coulis. Super, super delicious.
And then sprinkled onto the plate is the cactus.
Would you like to pass me that, please? This is cactus honey. It's a little sweet, little caramelized flavors to it, little notes of honey crystals on there. So that's our chocolate torte with the peaches and the cactus honey.
Fantastic. Chef, it was a pleasure. I can't wait to turn off the cameras and just devour what you have created, so we appreciate it. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival here at Lighthouse Point at Le Bistro. Check them out.